one of our agents, they sent out a release of earnest money, releasing it to our client. Happened about 3 weeks ago. And basically we sent the release of earnest money, releasing the earnest money to our client. The other agent, who was a hobby agent, signed it, got a client to sign the documentation, send it back to us, and said, then she called up our agent and says, well, when do we get the earnest money back? So I don't know if she was a new agent or whatever. And then we said, we released the earnest money back to our client. Your client's not getting the money back. She didn't even get her client to read it. And as an agent, she didn't even read the earnest money.
Wow.
I was the listing agent on that one.
It was you that told me about that.
Yes, she was an experienced agent. I mean, she was.
Didn't sound very experienced to me.
She's right on that time, but she had some deals done, and I didn't really like the way she approached when she made the offer. I really didn't like it, and I told her, hey, we're not going to do all that you're asking for because, they submitted an offer on a listing that we had, and instead of getting an inspector to go over there and look at the house, she sent in 2 companies to look at the house, and both of the companies said there was something wrong with the house. And I said, hey, these aren't inspectors. How am I supposed to trust these companies? I mean, you probably have a cousin or a friend or somebody that works there and said, hey, we need to get the price on this house down, write up a report. And it's like, no, that doesn't work for me. I need to represent my seller's best interest at that point. So I told her, no, we're not doing that. And she actually sent me the release. She actually sent me the amendment to get all those repairs done after the option period was over. She told me at the beginning, it was like, hey, I do this part-time to help friends and family. Well, she got her buyer to sign this form after I sent her the release of earnest money. I says, no, your buyer is not entitled to the earnest money. That earnest money now belongs to my seller. She signed that form. She actually sent that form back to me and said, hey, you need to sign it. And it's like, fine, I signed it and I sent it back to her. And she signed it. Worst of all, she had her client sign it. Later on, she's
not
calling
representing a client.
Later on, she's calling me, asking me, where's that earnest money? And it's like, you signed the form.
You released it, man.
Are you telling me that you did not read the form? Worst of all, you had your client sign the form without reading it, without explaining to him what this form was about? That's horrible representation.
Absolutely.
And so... I feel bad for her client. Unfortunately,
she needs to pay her client the earnest money. That's what she needs to do. Do the right thing. You make the mistake.
Yeah, you got to eat that one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel bad for that client, but unfortunately, I have to represent my seller's best interest. I need to put those pity feelings aside and think of my client. My client needed that money because we're in a multiple offer situation, and we went with her. We lost out on a couple others. We had to stay on the market a little bit longer to get that another deal going.
So, Louis, tell us, obviously, we've led into what I'm going to ask you next, which I think is the perfect time to lead into it. So, one of the things we teach at Olympian is basically the number one thing you should do is obviously represent your client. Your client comes before your personal interests. So we've said that. Second thing is, as an agent, what do you think you offer your clients as value? Because if you don't offer value, I always say all the time, a lot of people say that 3% is a given. Mm-hmm. I think some agents are worth 10% because we had another deal today where one of our agents and a multiple offer situations saved them nearly $15,000.
Yeah.
So what do you offer your clients as value? What do you perceive? What do you do different? Rather than look at red doors and granite countertops, which you always say, everybody likes properties because it's everybody's dream to own their own house. But what do you feel you offer as value to your clients? Obviously, you read the paperwork, which is a bit of an important part of the...
Absolutely, man. Got to do that.
Well, to tell you the truth, when I get paperwork from another agent, I always think it's a trap. So I read it, double read it, and then I walk away.
Sometimes it is. is.
And sometimes I'll reread it again. It's like,
Is that because you're trying to trap other people? Is that what you?
that's part of
you
it.
think that way because you do it yourself, right? You're trying to get over.
not necessarily.
I have.
It's just asking, just poking at you, poking the bear a little.
No, actually, one of Steve's has always taught me to, be fair with everybody. And this agent that lost her client's earnest money.
You treat them with courtesy. I mean, that's being professional. I mean,
right.
That's being professional and courteous. But the truth of the matter is,
you want to win. You really want
to win. Right, I do want to win.
Absolutely.
I mean,
who doesn't?
If you feel good about representing your client, I call it real estate poker. I even teach it in my classes as real estate poker.
Right, yeah.
When you're negotiating. If you're a good agent, you're negotiating. How many times has an agent said to you, I want $10,000 for a repair, and all they're doing is throwing it at you to see what your response is, and you've turned around and said, well, we've got multiple offers on the property, and then oh, okay, well, forget the $10,000. How many times have you done that for your client?
I've done that quite a bit of times, and actually, one of my last deals in Fresno, one of my clients the buyers were asking for $7,000 off the price, and my clients were ready to give it to them, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Hold on, don't be so fast.
Like, what are you talking about? You want to give it to them, and there's like, yeah, but we know the AC is old and this and that, and it's like, look, they went and looked at the house, they saw the AC was old, and they still put in the offer. So they know. So there's no reason why we should, give them that much money. I mean, I would say if you want to give them anything at all, probably give them, 2 or 3, but not. And they're like, oh, okay. And they said, it's like the most we'll do is 3, or something. But they're ready to give their whole money away, and that's happened many times. Another one is on this deal that I had in spring, the appraisal came in low. The buyer's agent wanted to lower the price. I was like, nope, not so fast. It was only $4,000 difference. We were trying to sell it for $208. The appraisal came in at $204, and he wanted to drop the price to $204. And I said, no, we can't do that. I said, because the house down the street sold for $207. This is a much better house. I think the appraisal messed up, and so I could put this house back on the market, bluffing, and I'll still get the full price.
Right.
And I was prepared to do that. My seller was like, Luis, I'll take the 204. Don't worry about it. I'm good. I said, let me just try this. I'm not going to put the deal in jeopardy, but let me just try this. And sure enough, they came back that day and said, hey, we'll give you the full 208. I've done that multiple times. And my job is to always try to get on the phone, listen to what the other agent is saying, and see if I can use anything against them. I was studying a house over here about Wood Forest, and the agent called me. She was saying, this is a really big house, the square footage, this, that, and the other, so she was seeing value there. When her client started asking for $5,000 less, I told my client, the seller, send me a text message that you don't accept that you're not giving them anything more. And I showed her that text message. She goes, okay, we'll take it as it is. So, yes, real estate poker. Because
they really wanted the house. It is real estate poker.
But I'm not trying to conceal anything. It's just I'm just trying to use everything to my client's advantage.
You're just trying to win, Louis. There's nothing wrong with trying to win. And
I'm not trying to win as far as like
you want to feel that you're doing the best for your client.
Right. I'm not trying to win like trying to be like this mega agent and get 1,000 listings per month or 1,000 sales per month, because it's like, what kind of service will you actually be giving the clients, But I do feel like when I'm under contract, I do want to win that contract. I do want to get the better of that contract for my clients.
Absolutely.
And I do everything I can to do that.
You know who the easiest agents are, though, to ask for discounts and get them to take the offer and take the bait? The agents to put the money first and not their client first.
Exactly, yeah.
Them are really the agents that I think they're the easiest agents.
And there's a lot of them
to take advantage of.
Unfortunately, there is a lot of them, and I've had friends that actually went and purchased a house, and the house is falling apart. And if I would have taken them to the house, I would tell them, no, let's find you another house. I could tell from the street that this is not a good house.
Right.
But I helped. I helped a gentleman buy a condo nearby, and after we closed and everything, he was doing some work and noticed that there was a leak in the garage. There was a pipe busted, drywall messed up, and bam, it fell down. He got upset. He's calling me upset. I say, okay, you got a warranty, you got a home warranty plan. Just call them. Let's get it fixed. Don't worry about it. And they came out there and says, no, this is an existing condition. We will not cover it. It's like, thanks, home warranty. So I call a listing agent. I say, hey, y'all need to pay for this repair. And it's like, no, we didn't know anything about it. I said, y'all didn't disclose this in the seller's disclosure, and this is an existing repair. We can tell it was repaired, and the seller has owned this property for so long, so they should have known about this. You can't tell me someone repaired it, so he should have known about this. And she said, I'll get back with you. Once I mentioned the seller's disclosure, and I told her why, and you gave her that, she came back, yeah, you're right. I had it repaired. I was a property manager on that property. And we negotiated a deal. And I got my clients some money even after the sale was completed. So that's how much I'm willing to go for my clients.